y'all, it's Tam. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am in the craft room and it is my objective to do a collage video with you guys on today. I'm having some lighting issues, so I'm kind of catacorned trying to get lighting that's not going to affect the quality of the video. I did notice in my last video that there were some issues with lighting. It's just, you know, trying to get that perfect lighting, especially when you're dealing with images that have that glare, is just real difficult. I'm finding it to be difficult. I think it has something to also do with the time of day that I record, and so I'm hoping recording this video during the day when it's just a little bit better lighting, natural lighting, instead of trying to use ring lights and, you know, all that kind of stuff will kind of help with that. But anyway, I'll be working in this collage book. You guys have seen it before. It was on my 2024 journal lineup, and so I've done a couple of pages. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them. Again, there's this glare issue. But I did both of these pages, well, 3 pages, off camera. And so I figured it would be great for us to do one together. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, guys, so we're going to just jump right in. The first thing I'm going to show you are the images that I'm going to be using in this collage. It's a combination of things that I got from several different magazines and books. Excuse me. So I suggest you just use whatever you have in your stash. For me personally, I think collaging is based on whatever you have in your stash. Like, you're probably not going to be able to exactly duplicate what someone else collages unless you have excuse me, I have something in my throat. Unless you have everything that that person has that they're using to do their collage, which most of us don't. So just use the things that you have to put together the pages that you like based on a combination of things that you have, you know, purchased or received for free, or however you obtain your supplies, and just use the things that speak to you the most just to put your pages together. So that's what I did. I just went through several different books and magazines that I have here at the house, and I just, you know, had the forethought of using images that I like to create a combined page that I was going to like. And so that's what I did. So I'm going to put down a background. That's what I like to do first. I like to start with a full covered background in this particular journal. So I just took my biggest piece of collage paper, which is a whole page from a book, and I'm going to put that down, which is going to cover just about all of the background for this project, this process that I'm doing. And so for me, I don't usually find a whole sheet that I can use for the background, but I did in this case, and so it saved me a lot of time from having to pull from several different sources just to find whatever I was going to use for my background. This one page just about covered the entire page that I was using to put, you know, this collage piece together. I'm going to do a little bit of trimming because it's not going to fit perfectly. It's going to overhang from the top and the bottom of this journal. So in that case, I just took my scissors and trimmed off the excess. So no big deal. And that little piece to the far right that I'm going to have left that is not going to be covered, I'm just going to use a little scrap piece. I had a little scrap piece from another project out of a magazine image that I just kind of trimmed off, and it's going to fit on the right side of this entry to cover up the remaining excess white portion of this page. And so that was just by circumstance, and it worked out. Now I'm changing my medium to this glue stick, which I have used these what's the name of these glue sticks? These Scotch permanent glue sticks. I have used these in the past, and I have to say that I don't personally favor these glue sticks, but that tape runner, it's just, it seems like they're making the tape on those runners run out sooner. It's almost like they're not putting as much as they used to on the rolls, and they're so expensive. I can't continue to buy those tape runners and go through them as fast as I do. Like, I could literally sit down and do one project and I've used 2 tape runners. So that was just ridiculous, and I usually buy them in bulk. So I'll buy like a 40 pack of tape runners and I'll spend like almost $70-$80. So I can't afford to do that. So I'm going back to the glue sticks. Now, I would normally use the glue sticks that I have from the Dollar Tree, but I have not seen those Dollar Tree glue sticks in my store, and so I am keeping an eye out for them. In the meantime, I have to use what I have. So I do have some of these Scotch permanent glue sticks, and I kind of backed off of them and didn't really use them a lot because I don't like, they're just too sticky. And you're going to see me as I go through this project where I'm having to wipe my page and get that excess stickiness off of my images that I'm collaging. But I am going to learn to love these glue sticks because, like I said, I can't afford the tape runners. So that's just something that I'm going to have to personally get my mind wrapped around and be satisfied with what I can afford and just make it work for me. So that's what I'm going to do with these glue sticks. But just, my own personal opinion, I don't really like these Scotch glue sticks, and they're just way too sticky. But I'm going to bear with them. So you're going to be seeing them. You're going to see me use them a lot, but just know it's under duress. But I am trying to be grateful that I have something and it's going to serve its purpose. So I am starting to glue the images, or just trying to come up with an idea as to where I want the images. Now, I did kind of, before I really sat down and started recording this video, came up with some form of an idea as to what I wanted, like where were my images going to look best. And so I had I would say 10, 15, 20% of an idea as to where I wanted everything. So I start with my biggest images, getting them down on the page. And once I get my big images down, I can kind of navigate around the rest of the page to figure out where I want the smaller pieces. So the 2 biggest images that I had for this project is, number 1, the focal image, which is the little boy with the headphones. And then I had this, it's like not a coffee table. It's more like a entryway table with a lamp and a little floral arrangement on it. I cut that out of a magazine. And then I have part of a sofa that came, out of a totally different magazine, I think. And so I just kind of trimmed around, fussy cut both of those out, and I'm going to use those in the left and right corners of the page. And so getting those big images down is just my own personal process, because like I said, if I can get the big images down, I can kind of work around everything else. And so that's essentially what you're going to see me do. I know this page kind of is this entry is kind of like an earth tone type feel. I absolutely love the colors that I used for this collage. And again, it came from a combination of several different sources. So I was just amazed how I was able to find a combination of things that I liked that were in the same color family, and they all kind of worked together to create the outcome that I personally am pleased with. I absolutely loved the way this collage turned out. In my mind, I'm envisioning this little boy is probably really into music and the arts, whether he's dancing in theater or whatever, but he's kind of like rocking out onto some song that he really likes, and he's in the living room just kind of carrying on and just really getting into it. And so the title, I thought, was fitting. Born for this, born to be expressive, born to sing, born to enjoy music, born to love the arts and theater or whatever he's into. So that's kind of like where I was envisioning this page going. And again, I just went through the things that I had, cut out images that I like, found a title in my stash, and it all just kind of came together. It came together rather organically. Like I really didn't know, and I don't think most of us know, where these pages are kind of going where they're going to go when we start out. But ultimately, I think, your collage pages and your journaling pages turn out pretty well if, you just choose the things that you like. How can you not like a page if its main components is derived from things that you like? That's my thought process. So I loved these moths. These are some moth, what do you call them? Crocheted moths. I have a book about, crocheting and knitting, and somebody knitted or crocheted some fabric moths. I'd never seen that before, but I absolutely love these moths, and so I kind of fussy cut them out, and I was dead set on using them in my page. And I think, they became part of the secondary focal image of my page, I guess you could say. Like, I wanted them to be seen, but not kind of like blending into the page, but I still wanted you to be able to see them. So I didn't want anything to kind of cover up the moths. So just having to position them in a way where you could see all three of them and, still know that the boy is the focal image, but the moths are kind of like subtly making their appearance as well. So I love them. I've never seen anything like this before, but I absolutely loved incorporating these knitted moths into this page. So now I'm getting ready to put my focal image down, and again, it is absolutely, befitting. It just seemed to all come together. And so this boy I also got out of a book about scarves. I think this book was something about scarves, knitting scarves. The moths came out of a totally different book, so I don't know why I purchased, these books about knitting and crocheting, which is something I haven't done in almost 20 years. But you can go to like the most unlikeliest of sources and find the most amazing images. So just keep that in mind as you're looking. You don't have to always use magazines. You can use books, and you can use children's books, adult books. You can use books about different things like hobbies and crafts, and you can have images in those that you can use in your projects as well. So I found the moths in one book, the focal image with the boy in another book, but they had kind of sort of the same type of theme, knitting and crocheting and fabrics and stuff like that. So don't disregard looking at books and magazines that you probably wouldn't normally think would have something that you like in them. You don't always have to go to Vogue and Elle and all these other different magazines that we can get free and or purchase from our local stores. You can find books and magazines for free, and you can also find them in thrift stores, and you can find them at estate sales and yard sales and places like that, and they're not as expensive as they are when you purchase them out of the store. I do buy magazines out of the store, but 9 times out of 10, most of what I get is on the cheap side or the free side, especially in this season, because I'm not really earning any money right now. So I'm always looking for a great deal. And again, I have so much in my stash, I don't have to be looking for anything. So use what you have. That's where I'm going in 2024. Use what I have. Try to do a lot of no spending on things, just try to repurpose, recycle, reuse, and come up with new creative ways to use the stuff that I'm already working with. So I'm kind of wrapping up the page. I cut off the bottom portion of my focal image, which was his blue jeans that he had on, but I had blue in one of those moths, and I got a very little hint of the blue jeans at the bottom of his legs just before the page cuts off. And so I just trimmed that little blue portion off, and I'm going to use it at the top of the page to kind of have that blue bouncing off both of the pages, so it can kind of draw your eye to that blue color on both sides. I'm going to trim down my title. I'm going to leave it in one piece because I think it's a perfect fit. I don't have to, chop it up to make it fit on the page. So I'm just going to run it from one page over to the other. And again, my title is Born for this. And I have no idea where I got this title from. I cut out words from magazines and books all the time, and I just keep them here, for whenever I'm looking for a title. I just go through it. And again, I don't do a whole lot of searching. I go through maybe, 5 or 10, 15 maybe words, and I try to find one and move on. Try not to spend a whole lot of time searching for the images. That's probably what's going to take up the most time. But if I can decrease the amount of time I'm searching for things, I can just jump into the project and having not wasted a whole lot of time searching through my stash. So cut up images as you're watching TV, watching YouTube, different things like that, and have some stuff already ready so that when you do get the inkling to put together a page, you already have some stuff ready. So the page is put together. Absolutely love it. I have to add my date, which I'm going to do off camera, so you're not going to see that part, but otherwise I'm calling this page done. I got some still images that I'm going to let you see, and that's pretty much it. Leave a comment down below, thumbs up the video, share my channel with someone who may be interested in what I do here. It's always a pleasure to jump on here to talk to you guys. I am absolutely looking forward to 2024 and all the things that that God has in store for me, and I'm hoping I can get on here and journal a whole lot more. So thank you guys again. Look forward to seeing you in my next video.